Mr. Holland's Opus, the journey of a teacher from start to finish, including starting off with some of those first year fears.
Your first day as a teacher, Mr. Holland. Excited?
Nervous. Thought I'd be here.
No, why not?
Well, like most people, I only got my teaching certificate, so I have something to fall back on. I know I have.
This isn't a drive-in, Mr. Clarence, hands off. You know, Mr. Holland, I don't think of teaching as a fallback position.
No,
And I grow nervous around people who do.
I'm really very happy to be here. Really.
Drop by my office later on. I have a list of students you'll be advising.
Advising. Can I ask when I'm supposed to be doing this advising?
That's for you and the student to arrange. You meet your orchestra when?
Period. Are they any good?
They try hard. And by the way, I'll need a complete lesson plan from you by Friday.
Right.
For September and October.
Right.
But of course, the movie does a great job showing how important relationships are, especially starting off with students.
How long have you been playing?
3 years.
Really? Do you find that you get all the practice time that you need?
I practice constantly. Yeah.
With, of course, some of the first attempts at forming relationships being a little less
And I think
easy as they are later on in the
I should
career.
find some time to work.
But at least he learns early that it is important to reach out and make those
It
connections.
doesn't matter whatever you can do. That'd be wonderful. I really want to do good at this.
Well, I bet you do. Well, why don't you come in about a half hour before first period tomorrow, and we'll just start.
Okay. Thank you very much.
And of course, the joy of seeing graduations and being part of other people's lives. But of course, the struggle for many teachers, especially in the United States, needing a second job, especially as teachers are employed for 10 months, not 12. The joys of some of those extra jobs. And then, of course, the pressure put on families, as we see through the Odyssey, where there is a struggle between knowing your own son and looking after the kids at school. But of course, through his Odyssey, he discovers the power of differentiation and helping literally show music to his son who is born deaf, which becomes a touch point for him moving forward. And of course, as we get to the end, we start seeing the entire journey of a teacher and how their lives influence others. And that emphasis of relationships matter is nicely called back at the end where, as every teacher would kind of sort of want, because we all kind of say, we're just going to fade away, leave later on. And of course, in this movie, as is often the case, music faces budget cuts. And in this case, it leads to Mr. Holland's retirement. But people are not going to just let him slink away to the outside because, and this is one of the parts that brings a lot of tears to teachers' eyes, the movie actually shows you how many lives a teacher does touch and connect with. And not that this will happen all the time, and in many cases can't be organized quite that easily or that regularly. But it is a nice reminder of how those moments can matter, including a nice little callback to a student earlier on who formed an early relationship. And of course, the clarinet girl becomes the governor and shares the connections that he's had and the metaphor that while he was preferring to be a musician, the students are his notes and his accomplishment. But at the same time, showing how students sometimes know their teachers as good or better than what we might like, taking the time to find out about the Great American Symphony he's always been puttering around with, and giving him the chance to lead his former students in the playing of that performance. Which, of course, is a nice little connection, as I have my English 12s teacher's novel that he always talked about in class when I was a student, and I am looking forward to reading it. But of course, what a way to end the movie than to see a lot of the faces come back and share that, yes, indeed, there is a strong connection all the way through. Definitely brought more tears than I thought it would bring when I did the reviewing, but a great little movie to show the different moments of a life of a teacher, and sometimes the performance piece isn't the opus, it is the connections that we make along the way. A great movie to watch or to rewatch.